Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of Kayfabe Coffee, the show that keeps it real while we pretend it's real. Hey, everyone, I'm your host, Kyle Gagliardi, the barista of broken kayfabe, if you will, pouring out hot takes stronger than a Starbucks shaken espresso. Welcome to Kayfabe Coffee here on the Main Event Wrestling Network. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning here, February 10th. It's crazy. January felt like it was forever. I'm glad we're finally in a new month here in Northwest Indiana. The weather's starting to get a little warmer, so the vibes are getting there. We're not all the way there. We're not all the way back, people, but we're getting out of that rut, getting out of that winter funk. It's going to be a good day. And my boy Tino in the chat, ready for the best new morning show on YouTube. You know what? There's a lot of people on YouTube doing morning shows. I don't think I'm the best, but I might be the best professional wrestling morning show on YouTube. I'll take that. I'm coming at you, Busted Open Radio. Me and my 8 listeners and followers right now watching live. Eric Douglas is in the house. Eric, how you doing today, my friend? Always a pleasure seeing you in the chats. You are very active. Good to see you, Eric. Yo, who makes these instrumentals? I think StreamYard does. They're just the free ones they give you. If you go to Media Assets next time you do one of your streams, just play around. You'll be able to see them. And we are out here indeed. Good to see you, Great Brown Hope. Let's go, for real. Ivy should have won the qualifier. Why is champion in contention for another title? She should be defending her title. Listen here as I sip my coffee, Eric. The WWE doesn't really care about logic. You know, and this isn't just a WWE problem. I think I mentioned it on one of the past shows that we just did. That some companies just book double champions and it ends up devaluing another title. That's wrestling, unfortunately. And I don't know if Ivy should have won the qualifier. What did we see in Ivy? What have we seen in Ivy Nile in the past couple months that's like, you know what? She deserves to be in that chamber match. I haven't seen anything yet. It's going to be a slow build if they're going to get her into that title scene. Did I understand the Dom and Stephanie promo? No, I do not speak Spanish. I took Spanish for 3 or 4 years. Tres or cuatro, see? And I didn't comprehend anything, obviously. I think I cheated in Spanish class because I was so lazy when I was a young kid, which explains a lot. Now that we're here. I see. GBH, I don't even know what we were talking about. See, I do this a lot. I say a lot of things on YouTube. And while you're here on YouTube, guys, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 300 subscribers here at the Main Event Wrestling Network, and we're doing a lot of fun stuff over here. There's watch-alongs, there's live shows. We have a bunch of different live shows. 6 different live shows this week, actually. So there's a lot going on specifically on the YouTube channel this week. So make sure you're checking out all that good stuff. Cheater, pumpkin eater. You know, cheaters never prosper is what my mom told me. She was right. Because I can't speak Espanol, even though I kind of wish I did. Because honestly, it would have helped with a lot of things. It could have been a translator for baseball. I could have, gotten a job into sports and just become a translator. What's in your cup? Well, first off, we got the Go Pack Go coffee mug right here. I bought this when I was at Lambeau Field a couple years ago. It's already a little chipped up on the edges, so obviously they didn't paint this that well. But I just got regular coffee today. I don't know if we could see it. I'm not going to tip it over because we don't want to get it on the laptop, but we got Starbucks Pike Roast in the mug, on the Packers mug this morning. We do have OTM mugs, by the way, if you did not know. There's some Main Event Wrestling Network merch as well. I think we got main event mugs like this at the OnTheMarkWrestlingPodcast.com. So if you're like me and you got to have that caffeine in the morning, I don't care if I don't have a job right now, because I don't. But I still need the caffeine. I need that energy in the morning. I don't know about you guys. You know what, GBH? College is not cheap. I spent a lot of money to go to Indiana University because I didn't really have the best grades. I mean, I wasn't stupid by any means. I had good enough grades, obviously, to get in. But if you're not smart and you don't, get a scholarship to go to a school like IU in the Big Ten, you're going to be paying a lot of money. So I'm good on that. I just don't want to be paying more money to go back to school. I don't have the attention span for that anymore. This is my life. So if you want to make this my full-time job, you're going to have to help me get some more subscribers over here, guys. We could do better. Come on. Follow on the network on X and on IG at main event _net. We're posting new content daily. on the socials. So if you're already subscribed here on YouTube and you're already following us on X, you probably already know about the IG and all that good stuff. Yeah, mucho expensive. It is. You do have a job entertaining. Eric, that actually means a lot. I needed that this morning. And let's all grab our glass, grab our mug. Cheers to you guys. Good morning. We're going to talk some Monday Night Raw here. Let's get into this. What do we start off with again? Oh, let's before we get into actual Raw, there is some breaking news, I guess. It's not really breaking anymore because you probably already know about it, but I haven't had the opportunity to address this situation. And it was interesting. I was not happy with how they went about Braun Breaker in the Royal Rumble. Obviously, I would have liked to have seen a bigger showing from Braun Breaker because I thought he was being positioned to be in the main event. But that's not the case because we now know Braun Breaker is out indefinitely with an injury. I believe it was a hernia-related thing, which is very serious. I know my dad had a sports hernia about 15 years ago. He had to have a serious procedure about that. And I think what Paul Heyman said about that injury is true. Most people that probably would end their careers, but Braun Breaker is not like most people. He's a genetic freak. He's a Steiner. He's a dog. Braun Breaker will be able to come back. Now, when he's coming back, I don't know. Indefinitely is a very vague term. Maybe they are putting indefinitely out there using that verbiage because of WrestleMania season. They don't want to 100% count out the fact that he could be there for WrestleMania because, let's be real, guys. I think we all know the direction for Braun Breaker at WrestleMania this year is probably going to be a one-on-one match with Seth Rollins. We saw a lot of that continue here on Monday Night Raw this week. They've spent a lot of time in the past, for that feud, setting up that feud. So I think they put the indefinitely tag on this instead of saying like 12 to 16 weeks, just in case he is able to go. So I'm going to hope that Braun Breaker is good to go for WrestleMania. Don't know the extent of the injury. I do believe it is hernia related. At least that's what they are saying. But let's see what Tino's got to say here. I take back what I got to get rid of that mug. See? What, you're talking about my mug? You got to get rid of this mug? I'm going to get you one of these. There you go. Enjoy it. No, Eric, when I do Kayfabe coffee, it's Kayfabe coffee in the morning, first thing, and then I go to the gym afterwards. So I might need to get some pre-workout in after this. So I'm going to be heavily caffeinated going into this afternoon. College is expensive, man. Tino, didn't you go to the Illinois Media School? I heard good things about the Illinois Media School. They were actually talking to me, trying to get me to attend there, but obviously I went to IU. But yeah, Braun Breaker in question, I guess is what we could say for WrestleMania 42. Obviously not going to be on Monday Night Raw for the next couple weeks, but neither is Roman Reigns. I don't know if you guys saw the graphic. Good news is Roman's going to be there every date in March, it looks like, and in April. So I think Roman's pretty much just taken off the rest of February. Let's CM Punk do all the building for that match going down at WrestleMania, and then they'll go from there. So, I mean, at least Roman's going to be working a full month of March. Oh, it's all right, Eric. You can take a couple days off from the gym. It's not going to hurt your progress as long as you don't take weeks off. That's the only thing. You can't take weeks off from the gym. You got to get in there at least 3 or 4 times a week. That's at least my mentality for the gym. But other things from Monday Night Raw, AJ Lee started things off. It was nice to see AJ Lee back on Monday Night Raw. She said she was in the house to support her friend Maxine Dupree because we know she obviously is the reason that Becky Lynch lost that title to Maxine Dupree a couple months ago. But now we are starting to set up that singles match for AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. A lot of people could say they've been kind of dragging this. I don't think you'd be dragging it. I would call it a drag if AJ Lee was actually on television weekly, but she has been presented as a part-timer, which she is, and there's no problems with that. I know a lot of people have complained online. It's like, oh, this AJ Lee run has been a flop. No, it's been exactly what it needed to be. AJ Lee doesn't need to be on TV every single week. She's paid her dues. She's had her time. She's just there to do some part-time things, and I think this was the big match that they wanted to get to with AJ Lee, at least first. This is going to be her first big singles match because obviously she competed in mixed tag action at WrestlePalooza with her husband CM Punk, and then she was a part of War Games. So a lot of spots there where you could kind of just sit and hang out for a little bit. Now it's time to go. Now it's pedal to the metal. We really need to get to AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch in a singles capacity. I don't know if they officially announced it for the Elimination Chamber. If anything, maybe Elimination Chamber is going to be a tag match, which we will get to later, of who I think that tag match could be. And once again, I watch so much wrestling and everything blends together. I forget sometimes. So, chat, correct me if I'm wrong if this match was announced in a singles capacity for Elimination Chamber. But I think eventually, regardless, it's going to get to WrestleMania. This is the big feud for AJ and for Becky going into the Mania season. And I think it's the right move. I think these two on the mic, and we saw it last night, very strong. AJ Lee has not missed a step on the microphone, that's for sure. I don't even think she's missed a step in ring. She looks fantastic. Two other comments. No, I meant college. Oh, it's okay. Not everybody's meant for college. Anyway, not everybody needs to go to college. You can get a degree and a good job without going to college. Have you read AJ or Becky's book? I've read Becky's book. I have not read AJ Lee's book. I probably should read AJ Lee's book. I didn't even know she had one. Thanks for bringing that up. They announced it. It is one-on-one. Okay, so this is happening at the Elimination Chamber. Then I don't see AJ winning in Chicago, honestly, if that's the case. I think they'll prolong it, and then AJ will maybe get that title at WrestleMania. Oh, you did in Lombard. Look at you, Tino. Look at you. But yeah, this is going to be a fun feud. I'm really excited for what these two are going to be able to do and what story they're going to be able to tell going into their matches because, like I said, this isn't just going to be a one and done. I see this being stretched all the way to WrestleMania. And I don't think AJ Lee holding that Intercontinental title is going to do any harm. I think that, if anything, it's just going to elevate the next person. I think AJ definitely will get a run with that title. I don't think she needs to get another world title run, in my opinion, especially if she's going to be working the part-time schedule. So what's the harm in letting AJ Lee get this international women's title? Or not international, sorry, I'm thinking of AEW. Intercontinental. The disrespect is real. Not for the title. Oh, okay. It's not for the title. Well, then I was right, in a way. I said the title wouldn't change hands at Elimination Chamber, but I would have liked, my coffee's getting cold, so I'm trying to drink it as quick as possible. That's the problem with warm coffee. That's why I'm an iced coffee guy. Iced coffee can't go warm. I mean, I guess it could if it melted, but now I'm contradicting myself here, just talking about coffee. Regardless, AJ Lee and Becky Lynch is going to be a lot of fun. If Becky Lynch, what is there to say that hasn't already been said about what she has done this past calendar year? Everything she touches is gold. Her character is phenomenal. And she's just taken that division, women's division, to new levels. In different points of her career, too. Like when she became the man, got her nose punched by Nia Jax. That was a defining moment right there. So she's had a bunch of defining moments in her career. This is just another one of them. I think this Intercontinental era is going to be looked back on and people are going to be like, okay, this is why Becky Lynch truly is one of the greatest of all time. Speaking of one of the greatest of all time, though, one of the greatest tag teams of all time was in action last night on Monday Night Raw as the Usos defeated the Alpha Academy in a really good match. Now, this is a match that I think WWE was maybe tuned into one of the network shows. We know I made some comments on the Dusty finish, I believe, about Tozawa. I was comparing Tozawa to the Indiana National Championship run, and I meant that in the most endearing way possible. And then, you know what? WWE's like, fuck it, Tozawa balls. We're going to put him out there, let Alpha Academy cook. And that's what they did. Listen, we knew the Usos weren't going to lose this match. I'm under the assumption that there's going to be some sort of multi-man tag match at WrestleMania for the Usos. Or maybe they just do straight up against the New Day because, like, I was talking to Tino last night on his watch-along, which I didn't see anybody else in besides Eric. Yeah, I'm calling everybody else out. That I think the Usos are going to face off against the New Day at WrestleMania just because they never really got on the official card. They were on the pre-show when they had their match at WrestleMania the last time they were on the card. So I think that could be the direction of the tag team titles. But man, what a showing for Alpha Academy here. Just a good hand. Obviously, their main goal is to be a comedy act. That's the value that they provide to the brand. But Tozawa is a guy that has been in the company for a long time, was a part of the Cruiserweight Classic, and he's getting the opportunity to finally showcase that on the main roster instead of just being treated like a joke on camera. GBH said Becky would have never gotten over if Nia didn't break her nose. I don't believe that whatsoever. Becky Lynch is... I mean, that one moment isn't the reason why she's so successful. She's amazing. I don't agree with that at all. That's not true. Not a Tozawa hater. Once again, GBH lying to the fans. You hate to see it. It's not just me saying it. Sports Illustrated saying it as well. Becky is a queen maker. Look at the people like Bianca, Lyra, Liv, Maxine, Nia Jax, all got put over and made massive stars to Becky Lynch. Yes, yes, yes. And no, I'm not Daniel Bryan. Fuck it. 8-man tag elimination match to open up WrestleMania, merge the Raw and SmackDown belts. Yeah, I would love that. I don't think they need 2 separate tag titles because they don't showcase the tag titles on every PLE. They space them out still. So I agree with GBH 100%. Just fucking combine the 2 titles. Let's put... So who are the champions on SmackDown? Is it still the Wyatts or am I blanking? No, it's the MFT. So we could do New Day, Usos, MFT, and let's throw the Hardys in there from TNA just to get like some dream teams in there. Even though the Hardys... I'm sorry. I know a lot of people like the Hardys. I don't need to see them anymore. It's just not for me. I get it if you still love them, but I don't need to see the Hardys anymore. I'm excited to see the singles match in Chicago, but I kind of wanted to see it at WrestleMania. So you're right, it's probably going to end in some type of... Yeah, and I don't see it being clean whatsoever in Elimination Chamber. There's no way AJ Lee and CM Punk are walking out of Elimination Chamber in their hometown both winning. That doesn't happen in pro wrestling. There's no way it's going to happen. You can't have 2 good things like that happen in your hometown. The WWE ain't going to allow something like that. Come on. AJ's going to probably lose at Elimination Chamber. That's my guess. Yeah, not for the time. I swear, my chat's behind again. I don't know what it is with StreamYard in this chat. I'm going to have to figure it out. AAA has more tag matches than SmackDown and Raw combined. AAA should honestly be featured in that WrestleMania match. I once again watched AAA on Saturday. That's 3 straight weeks I've watched AAA. I haven't bragged about it. I haven't posted about it. But I have watched 3 straight weeks of AAA. And I did watch TNA last week, what TNA so happened to be their highest rated show of the year because Mr. OTM tuned in. You're welcome for the ratings, people. I need some more coffee because this shit's ice cold. It's a good thing I got water as a backup because I can't drink warm coffee that went cold. It makes no sense, I know, because I drink iced coffee. But when my warm coffee goes cold, I'm done. I'm grossed out. I'm out. Tell us about those 3 weeks of AAA, Kyle. What do you think? I think it's one of the most fun watches in professional wrestling, honestly. It's an easy watch, and you kind of have said it a lot on our shows here on the network. I think you said it on the Sábado Gigante mixer that we just had, is like the fact that they don't have advertisements is a big thing. I think it's a show that just effortlessly flows. I don't feel... It's not painful to watch it. Like it's a very easy. You just sit down, straightforward. You know what you're going to get, even if you don't understand the language. It's similar to the Bad Bunny concert. And yes, I am going to go there because I can go there. I'm the face of this network, so I will address this right here, right now. Just like the Bad Bunny concert, I didn't understand a word Bad Bunny was saying, but I understood the energy and the message that was portrayed. And that's exactly why I like AAA, is because I know what they are right from the bat. And I knew who Bad Bunny was. I love Bad Bunny. The dude's just a good vibe. And like GBH said, Kyle loves Bad Bunny, and I'm here for it. I want Bad Bunny back in the WWE. I want to see Bad Bunny, and this would be very controversial, but I think the WWE should do it. Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny, WrestleMania 42. We know the comments that the Pauls have made. I think the WWE could make some money putting those two against each other. It might cause a war, but man, that'd be something. At this age, Tino, I don't get excited for Usos versus the Hardys. I just don't anymore. I think the Hardys are just past their prime, unfortunately. Would I pop? Yeah. Would I watch it? Absolutely. Do I want it? I don't need it. Liv Morgan had a promo that could have just been done in an email once again. This is the problem when you're setting up matches too soon. Sometimes I like it when Royal Rumble winners kind of delay the inevitable on their choice because now we just get to a point where you're repeating segments, it feels like. Because we know Liv Morgan is going to go up against Stephanie Valkyr at WrestleMania, or at least that's what it seems. This segment we didn't need. Once again, I didn't understand a word that was being said between Dom and Stephanie Valkyr. That doesn't matter. That's not the point. I am still worried about Stephanie Valkyr. And you're going to be like, oh, what a fucking mark. It's not because of the theme song. I think a little bit has to do with the theme. Because I think that theme in that presentation was aura. Because I say it all the time. Entrance is key, especially in WWE. It doesn't mean as much in other companies, but when you are the Disney of professional wrestling, you are the spectacle. Entrance matters. So I feel like Stephanie loses a little bit by that theme song. A lot of people aren't going to comprehend her Spanish. Once again, totally okay, but that's going to create an issue with people resonating with Stephanie Valkyr. Why should most of the American audience like Stephanie Valkyr if they're not comprehending? I would understand why some fans would be like, okay, so why am I cheering for her again? I think the WWE is going to have to do either get Stephanie a mouthpiece or maybe just let her be physical because that's what she does best. I'm not saying Stephanie's bad on the mic, but obviously she is more comfortable in her native tongue. I just don't know if that's going to connect with the majority of the audiences in the States. That's my only concern with that. But I love Stephanie Valkyr. Absolutely love her. Her and Io Sky, I think, are the two best female competitors right now in professional wrestling. It's just this promo, this segment felt unnecessary. And it really didn't do much for anyone. I don't think anybody benefited from having this segment. The only thing that we know is that it's probably going to be Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Valkyr, and Raquel Rodriguez is kind of just hanging around. Okay. Whatever. That segment happened. What else we got here in the chat? Obviously, they need to dethrone the Usos because Jimmy is obviously leaving for a long time after Mania due to Naomi being pregnant. I don't know if it's obvious that he would leave. I mean, granted, paternity leave is a thing, and he probably does want to spend time with the newborn, but I would assume the Usos would probably lose their tag team titles at WrestleMania this year. Bunny with Priest in his corner, Jake at Logan's corner. Let's go. Hey, I think it's great. I'd be here for it totally. My issue is Steph needs like a translator. Yeah, that's why I was mentioning potentially having a manager. He also Eric says Liv and Dom versus Stephanie and Bad Bunny at the Chamber. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get Bad Bunny in the next couple weeks. Tino thinks Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul is going to happen. Really? You're that confident, huh, Tino? I would. Honestly, Eric, I would like to see Raquel added for that triple threat. Just because I think you need to switch it up a little bit. I don't know if Raquel versus Liv is going to get enough juice. I don't know if I'm going to care with just those two. I think you're going to need a little story to sprinkle into that title match to make it more interesting, because that's something I always say is that I am storyline driven first. So if you give me a reason to care about a match going into WrestleMania, I'm probably going to favor that matchup rather than just this person versus this person and there's no real story to it. So I would like Raquel to be added to that title match potentially at WrestleMania. I think that'd be a really good spot for her. Then what would you do with Roxanne? You could. I mean, we talked. I think Eric, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. That is an option, is doing that triple threat at WrestleMania. Maybe there's a way they get that title off of Stephanie Valkyr in the next couple weeks, and then they just run the Judgment Day triple threat. But I want to see more from this Judgment Day because I think this trio of women with Roxanne, Raquel, and Liv is probably the best iteration they've had in the Judgment Day, and I think they can really run roughshod through the women's division for a little bit longer. I personally think the Judgment Day could just be a female faction going forward because I'm assuming that Finn Balor is going to feud with Dom going into WrestleMania for the IC title. So I'm totally okay with the Judgment Day not really like dissolving, just them becoming the trio of Raquel, Liv, and Roxanne, because I still think there's a lot that those three could do together. But they also could just rush it and do that triple threat at WrestleMania. But then again, I don't know. Roxanne could also go to a mid-card title. They have a lot of options. That's the benefit for WWE is they have so many top people right now on the main roster where they can pick and plug wherever they want, and they're going to be okay. And I think that's why a lot of the time WWE kind of just coasts, because they know they got the talent, they know people are going to tune in, and that's all that really matters. They're going to make their money hand over fist. Another top star going to the Elimination Chamber. It seems like a lot of the favorites are winning. Not surprised. Of course, you're going to get Rhea Ripley involved. The only thing, once again, is another woman that's holding another title, going for a singles title. Kind of distracting. Rhea Ripley defeats Lyra Valkyria and Ivy Nile to qualify for the Chamber. Like I mentioned earlier, I know Eric wanted Ivy Nile to win. There's not enough steam behind Ivy Nile yet. We need to really get some momentum with her before you give her that opportunity. I think if she was in the Elimination Chamber, it'd be a dud. It'd be no reaction from the crowd in Chicago. So maybe make it a little bit of a slow build for Ivy, climbing up that mid-card title scene. Lyra Valkyria, she is also in that tag team title scene, but they really didn't care because Rhea Ripley was the one that pinned her. So two women that are actually in the tag title scene were involved in the finish here for a single spot in the Elimination Chamber matchup. So very confusing, I know. Roxanne versus Julia for the U.S. I don't know how you get around the fact that they're on different brands. I saw someone try to speak that into existence online, but I also wondered the same thing. Is like, how do we even get there? Because they haven't even announced like a WWE draft or anything like that, which is something I heard about as well last year, and they just never got to it. They never switched up the brands or anything, which is something I desperately think that the WWE needs. Once again, switch things up, send people to other shows. It doesn't hurt. It does more helping than hurting if you switch up the brand from time to time, at least in my opinion. But guys, I've been talking for a while. I'm going to take a little drink break here, but don't forget, subscribe. We are on the road to 300 subscribers here at the Main Event Wrestling Network. Be a friend and tell a friend. Just tell one person about what we are doing over here. Share this link to this channel because we're not stopping anytime soon. Main event moves are happening throughout the entire year here in 2026. Give us a follow at mainevent_net on all of our socials. All right, we know one of the title matches at the Elimination Chamber. Of course, with the Elimination Chamber happening in Chicago, you have to have Chicago's own, Chicago-made CM Punk on the card, and it looks like Finn Balor is the one that wants his shot once again at CM Punk. Now, the last time Finn Balor and CM Punk had a one-on-one match, in my opinion, it was one of the best matches so far of 2026, and I really enjoyed it. I like the storytelling that they're doing with Finn Balor, kind of making him seem like a more important piece going forward in the WWE, which is something that I wouldn't say he got lost in the sauce these past couple of years, because he has been a very pivotal part of the Judgment Day story for the past half decade, it seems. I feel like the Judgment Day has almost been around for half a decade. I could be wrong there, but he just hasn't been in that main event title scene once saw him when he got called up from NXT and got that Universal title right away. And now Finn Balor is once again back in the main event title scene, which is something I think a lot of people love to see. Hate to say this, though, to the Finn Balor fans out there. Finn Balor has no chance of winning that title in Chicago from CM Punk. In no way, shape, or form are they going to add Finn to that matchup with Roman Reigns or replace CM Punk for that match against Roman Reigns. I'm sorry, you can't convince me. There's no way, shape, or form it is happening. It's going to be a great match. It's going to be a great environment because we know how Chicago gets for CM Punk matches. But CM Punk is going to have a good one against Finn and probably retain and face off against Roman Reigns. And then I think Finn Balor will go on to face off against Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title, which is not a bad spot, people. The IC title is not a bad seed to be in, especially with Dom Mysterio holding the title because he is one of the most popular superstars that the WWE has. Granted, Dominic Mysterio hasn't defended that title in a long time because he's been injured, but I think Finn Balor winning the IC title at WrestleMania is the story going forward. If Bianca isn't back yet, then would you be interested to see Jade versus Rhea or Jade versus Io? It's a good question. Yeah, but I feel like they would probably go to somebody on SmackDown. But then again, I don't know anybody on SmackDown that is credible enough right now to take on Jade Cargill, unless they really wanted to pivot hard on Julia. I don't think they could make that a WrestleMania match that anybody would care about, though. That's the problem, is they don't have a lot of time. They're going to have to put a big name against Jade Cargill to make people care about it if it's not Bianca Belair. Because right now, it doesn't seem like Bianca Belair is coming back anytime soon. Judgment Day's been around for 4 years. Wow, it was pretty close there. Yeah, time flies. I'm not giving myself any hope. If anything, he's getting the IC title at Mania. See, Eric understands the vision. And that's okay. Finn Balor doesn't need to be Universal Champion. I know a lot of people would want him to be Universal Champion. I just think the main event scene is crowded. And I don't think Finn needs to really be there anymore. But he does deserve to get opportunities like this. I don't think he's going to win, like I said. But Finn Balor in a big matchup, on a big show, in CM Punk's home crowd. That's going to be a money matchup right there. I'm really excited for that. After that, on Monday Night Raw, Maxine and Natty had a little bit of a no contest here. I love this story. I'm digging the new Natty. Never really was a fan of anything that Natalya did before. We got this version of Natty Neidhart, and this is exactly what she needs to be, is just a killer. Obviously, no contest. She was just beating the crap out of Maxine on the announce table. That's just going to prolong this feud even more. AJ Lee would come out. Obviously, being friends with Maxine Dupree on TV. That's why I thought maybe they were going to go the tag team route there. Maybe do Becky Lynch. And they probably still could on Monday Night Raw. Becky Lynch and Natty versus Maxine and AJ Lee in tag team action. Granted, I don't know how quality that match would be. But I definitely think they're going to run that in some way, shape, or form. Because all those women are pretty much in that Intercontinental title scene. And what a title scene that is for those 4 names just right there. I know Maxine doesn't have the experience or the credibility as the other 3 names, but she has really improved over the past couple years and made a name for herself. So I think she's a credible mid-card talent there. You got Maxine, you got Natty, you got AJ Lee, you got Becky Lynch, you got Lyra. These are just names that have been attached to that title. That's some pretty good company right there. I think everybody would probably agree that the women's Intercontinental title has drastically been better suited than the women's United States title over on SmackDown, because I think the best thing that they did with the United States title was just Chelsea Green holding that title. No disrespect to Julia, I just don't think anything has caught on quite yet. I think Julia is getting there. I think we're finally seeing the version of Julia we expected to see in WWE. I think she's slowly starting to get comfortable with that main roster audience. But yeah, it's a good title scene right now for the Intercontinental Women's title on Monday Night Raw. Something I'm tired of, though, on Raw is the Americano thing with Javon Evans. The Americano thing is entertaining, but Javon Evans doesn't need to be stuck in this for his first feud. Javon just got signed to Monday Night Raw. You needed to give him a splash going into WrestleMania, and you're giving him just side tag matches with Los Americanos? That's it? And I know we got a really good cutter out of this. That was one of the coolest cutters I think we have seen from Javon Evans last night on Monday Night Raw. But this is what he's being introduced to on the main roster. This is why you were in such a hurry to get him out of NXT to feud with the Los Americanos. Just let Chad Gable and Ludwig Kaiser do their thing, because I'm sure that is another matchup that is going to be taking place at WrestleMania. That's what it feels like we are building to with all of this. Javon's just a side character, and Javon Evans should never be a side piece. Javon Evans should be the focal point. I know there's plenty of time. They have loads of time, plenty of years to get Javon up the card. I just don't like the fact that this is the first thing that he is doing on the main roster. Had one of the best showings in the Royal Rumble. I believe he was the Iron Man for that men's Royal Rumble, if I'm not mistaken. Let's put him in tag matches with the Americanos. No, thank you. I don't need it. It was fun. For some, I guess. I mean, the original Americano and Ludwig Kaiser stuff's fun, but it feels like the same thing every week, and we are really, really dragging this stuff out. And then the main event, we had to find out who was going to qualify for that men's elimination chamber match as LA Knight defeated Penta and Austin Theory to qualify for the men's elimination chamber. The right guy won, in my opinion, even though Penta might have been better suited for the chamber in terms of just entertainment value in that kind of match. But LA Knight's a guy that you still need to keep at the top of the card. He's still getting reactions like a top guy. It's just unfortunate. He seems to be in the same boat as a Chelsea Green. They realize that both these people have talent, but they just treat them as a good hand instead of giving them the ball and fully committing to them. I just don't know if WWE is ever going to fully pull the trigger on LA Knight. I know that he won here. I know he's going to have a chamber opportunity, but I don't see where LA Knight even fits on the WrestleMania card. Seriously. What could LA Knight do at WrestleMania? I'm trying to think. I guess it would probably be a vision thing. But, like, are you really... That's what we're going to do? Him versus Austin Theory or him versus Bronson Reed? That's all you got for LA Knight? I don't think he's winning at the Elimination Chamber. And this match had a little bit of shenanigans, of course. The Vision got involved. Adam Pearce, even though, said no Vision during this match, even though it's a triple threat and you really can do whatever the hell you want because there's no DQ. It was a little bit overbooked to my liking. It never really took off to the way I thought it was going to, but it was fine. I thought just that Raw as a whole was just solid. Nothing bad happened on Monday Night Raw last night, but nothing incredible either. I wasn't wowed by anything or amazed. It just seemed to be the status quo, but not every Raw on this road to WrestleMania is going to be a banger because obviously we still are only a couple weeks away from the Elimination Chamber, so they're really going to ramp things up, I think, after Elimination Chamber. But nonetheless, LA Knight wins that main event, defeats Penta and Austin Theory to qualify for the men's Elimination Chamber, which we are a couple weeks away from. I haven't heard back from WWE. I did apply for WWE media access, hoping to represent the Main Event Wrestling Network at the Elimination Chamber. So I don't know how I hear back from them. I might have to talk to a friend or two to see if they email me or whatnot. So fingers crossed for that. That would be the only way I would be in attendance for the Elimination Chamber is if they were to give me media access, because the tickets are they're not cheap, people. I think the most expensive ticket is like $12,000 if you're going to sit ringside, which is crazy for the Elimination Chamber. I could be wrong on that. I could be speaking out my ass, but I do know the cheapest is about $300. And that's the Allstate, or no, not the Allstate Arena. It's at the United Center, which the balcony at the United Center, I was there when CM Punk returned for AEW on the Rampage. That was high up there. And I'm not spending $300 to sit in the balcony at the United Center. It's just not happening. It's not. So hopefully, fingers crossed, WWE decides to give Mr. OTM some media passes, and I'll be there in the balcony, but covering the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Guys, there will be no Kayfabe coffee tomorrow morning because I will be live tomorrow night recapping NXT on NXT Night Shift episode 43. So if you want to check that out, I think it's on the ticker right down below. You will see at NXT Night Shift is where you can find us there. We're going to be live 10 minutes after NXT. I don't know what else we got on the NXT card, but expect the next show to be for Kayfabe Coffee, that is, Thursday morning. I'm going to be pulling double duties on Tuesdays and Thursdays because I do OTM and the night shift on those days as well. So the next Kayfabe Coffee will be Thursday morning, and I'll be recapping AEW Dynamite. But make sure you hit that subscribe button for more main event moves. We are on the road to 300 subscribers here at the Main Event Wrestling Network. And if you want to keep up with all the good things that we are doing over here, the best way to do so is by following us on all the socials at @mainevent_net. Use that QR code there in the corner, and it will take you to every single destination that we have. You can check out the blogs, a lot of good stuff going on at the blog. Dusty Finish is going to be happening this weekend. We're talking about maybe doing a mixer as well on Saturday. So just plenty of good stuff over here at the Main Event Wrestling Network. And we want you guys to all be a part of it. So like I said earlier, just share this with a friend if you're enjoying what we're doing over here, because there are plenty of main event moves coming your way for the rest of 2026. And I will talk to you guys next time on Kayfabe Coffee, Episode 6, live Thursday morning. See you then.